guys. Welcome to Thursday, the 10th of March 2022. So, we've had a meeting between the Ukrainian and Russian and Turkish foreign ministers this morning. Um, a lot of sort of hollow talk, not much really solid coming out of that. And we just started to get that at 10 o'clock. So really, we've also had the ECB rate decision come out just about 17 minutes ago here. So, sorry, 18 minutes ago. So, yeah, I mean, unchanged on the ECB at a 0.5% on the rate. You see in the euro taking a nice little push up on that, and the dollar completing a move to the downside. We are going to get in 30 minutes' time continuing jobless claims 130. Also, the initial jobless claims, core CPIs, and CPIs out of the US. So, quite a bit of data to come. Are these markets going to be paying attention to it? Well, somewhat. Yeah, we saw a bit of volume yesterday trading on the back of the data. I can't recall what it was at the time, but let's go and have a look at these chart arrows here. Just let me fix one thing in the background, and there we go. There we go. So, um, we've seen really the DAX underweight this morning and dragging US equities down 1.5 down, NASDAQ 1.15 SPOOs, 1% thereabouts on the Dow, and breaking really tidy little break here below the 38 or 33,086. So to show you this on the daily bars, you can see that holding on that 33,806 is quite a significant little area. It's like the low there, 24th of January this year so far. If I switch out onto a weekly view, you can see the DAX is in a similar situation. It really needs to hold support down around where the DAX is now, but really on the Dow. There we go. The chart just updated. That was not a move that just happened. That's just an update on the chart. I think we really need to hold this 33,086s, and it's just weak as a kitten as we stay below, right? So, really, something to keep an eye on here is the pullback on the trend break, and then look for the shorts leaning against that 33,086s level. We got the 100 weekly moving exponential average down below here, 31,606 does seem to be the next significant support on the downside. Looking across to the SPOOs for a similar pattern on the daily here as well. You can see, it has to really hold above this area that I've identified. Really, it's from, this sort of zone here, right? This sort of zone that we kind of knotted into 40.95s up to 42.12s, and the resistance seen so far from this area above is indicative that, to me, we're gonna trade back down in this range that we were in yesterday, and then we burst up out of on the back of peace talks, if you like, between Zelensky and the Russian foreign minister. So we're not really getting what the market seems to have expected out of that meeting yesterday. Hasn't really come. We can't also really trust what the Russians are saying at these meetings. They seem to say one thing and do another. So I think these markets can remain weak until we have maybe some real seen provable progress and implementation of some of the things that the Russians are saying they're going to do. Namely, like opening up this humanitarian corridor to allow people to get the hell out of Ukraine. So, look, I think there'll be temporary support 42.12s, and then I'm just going to monitor. Really, that's my line in the sand for the day, 42.12.75s on the SPOOs. And then, yeah, NASDAQ, look, I'm not interested in the NASDAQ until we print down on the 500 weekly moving average, daily moving average, 12,903s even. The euro, let's talk about the Dixie right now, because the euro, while it's had a bid up there, we have had this sort of trend pullback. We don't even need this trend, to be honest. On the dollar 60-minute chart here, we're into support 97.74s. There is a very slight gap open at the bottom at 96.54s. It's so slight, I'm actually going to remove it right now, but I think we can stay above for this week. 97, 40, 40, 42s here. Um, but that is going to be a bit more downside in the dollar. I would rather look to the euro to complete a movement back up here on the 60-minute chart, back into the gap that is firmly still open above here. So I'm looking at maybe a pullback on the euro, maybe down to S1 at some point, and then just getting a lot of buyers there to drive it further up. So that's what I'm looking at in the euro. Oil, oil is yesterday $19 swing to the downside. I can't remember the last time I seen one of those, but I have seen bigger. That's what she said. So we're holding above the 110.29s. This former sort of line in the sand here as well. I think this market is gonna keep heading up. Because we're just not getting an unwind of that general invasion risk that we've been living in for the past 2 weeks here. So yeah, it's weak below 115s, but I think we can get back up. I think we can get back up. We do have 20 EMA as support down below here, 102.71s, and obviously, just a very small push to the $100 marker there below. So I like the longs. I like the longs. I've been saying that for about 3 years now. So yeah, what else? Nat gas. Nat gas has been a little bit tricky, but I do like the upside on nat gas today. We take a little cursory look on the daily. You could this is the weekly chart here, but if you've seen kind of that pullback on the week so far to test for spot 493's low, finding buyers here, we should manage to get back up. But if we go down onto the daily chart, just give this a second to load while the euro pulls back here as we're talking. Yeah, so we've tested on the day so far down into 4.493s. Sorry, that's today. Sorry, we tested yesterday, and not really well. Yeah, in Asia Pac we did sort of push almost to the 493s, but I think we can manage to put a good push above the 661s either today or now or this week before the week is out. Can't see selling down on Henry Hub nat gas in this environment, to be honest. But let's see what we can get. You're seeing the dollar bouncing here off of 97.74s down here. So not a great time to be plowing into the longs on the euro after that initial push up. All right, that's gold. Actually, before I go, I want to talk about gold and cable. So gold holding well on the 1981s this morning, back above the 2000s. So, I think if you had a real backslapping, everything's, great, we're going to come to terms meeting, which was never on the cards this morning, but certainly a softening in the situation did see that gold contract under pressure. But as the meeting didn't go so well, you're seeing that bid back up in gold, up above into pivot 2009. I'd rather see this probably make a new low on the day before I buy it. Actually, a new low in the week before I become a buyer. Maybe a push above pivot, pull back, get your classic trade on, and look for the longs here. You haven't really achieved that upper side target 2141s yet, so let's remain cautious. And cable, just I don't often talk on cable, but I think there's a range here, 3173s down to 3302s, something to be aware of as we remain weak so far on the 3173s. So, for that to happen, you're looking at a breakdown on the trend here, right? Breakdown on trend. You got a breakdown on the trend, pull back, and then look for the short continuation down to the 3022s. Big range there, if that is to play out. All right, that's it for me for another session. Yeah, I think there's a lot moving these markets. We're going to have a lot hitting the tape in about 15 minutes. So really do sit on your hands and wait until we get some volatility coming into these markets, which is no doubt on the way. All right, have a good session. Talk to you later. Bye bye.